Hi, this is Dr. Ben Morrill. Welcome to episode 54 of Reptile Genetics Weekly. Very happy to have you here today. We have been really working hard the last couple of months on several different fronts. And everything when we're designing and working on new things, it always seems to take way longer than, than I want it to. But anyway, we have a whole bunch of cool things we'll be able to announce over the next couple of months or so. Um, the kind of the fruits of all of these labors we've been doing. But today we get to start talking about some of those, so I'm pretty excited for that. We'll wait till Kayla gets on to talk about those things. So to start with, we'll talk about updates for samples and results going out. So we will have, as we have for several weeks now, we'll have lots of fast test results going out, and we'll actually talk about that a little bit more here in a minute with Kayla. But yeah, we'll have lots of fast tests going out, results going out this week, and many new tests that are now available as fast tests. So that's pretty awesome. As far as panels, so people that are doing panels, those next batch of results are probably about 2 weeks out, maybe 3 at the most. And that's another thing we're going to talk a little bit about here in a minute. But so yeah, I would say the next round of panel results are 2 to 3 weeks out. And then for sex determination, there will be a bunch going out today. So any of you that have been waiting for colubrid or ball python sex determination, by tonight, there's going to be a whole bunch going out. So yeah, that's everything as far as results updates. Kayla, how are you doing?
Hey, Ben, I'm doing great. Glad to be here as always. And thank you for the sample updates. I'm excited to talk about the stuff you've been working on.
Yeah, this is
Um,
a fun episode.
yes, it's kind of it's a little business oriented, but if you're somebody that orders our shed test, this is definitely a good episode for you to take note of.
And if you
And we'll
want good deals on shed, the various genetic tests we've got going, this is a very good episode to pay attention to.
Yes. Okay, so finally we got some more fast testing, or more fast tests added to our pretty significant roster of fast tests. So
Yeah.
you want to take that away, Ben?
Yeah, so all of these tests are now available as fast tests. So that's the 1 to 2 day turnaround, 1 to 2 business day turnaround. So we're up to 27. So the goal was to have all 30 ready to go by the end of April. And we're going to be really close. I think it might take a few days into May to get the last 3, but there's only 3 that we still need to get. So
Yeah.
we are very close.
Awesome.
And yeah, so the turnaround time, as I was alluding to in the opening, we're very excited. We've been focusing on ways that we can make everything be faster again. So right now, starting this week, the fast tests, our guarantee is still, or what we're shooting for is still the 2 to 3 business day turnaround. And in most cases, that's going to happen as a very few of you know. Sometimes there's problems. You need to retest or you get a new shed or whatever. But by far and away, the majority of the fast tests are 1 to 2 business day. But the new thing now is we are focusing even more on the fast tests to make them faster. And so you're going to see the majority of fast tests are going to be next day. So if that shed comes in, it gets received on a Monday, then you'll have, in most cases, you're going to have your results on Tuesday.
Awesome.
If it comes in, it gets received on a Tuesday, you'll have results on Wednesday. So that turnaround time for fast tests is still that 1 to 2 business day, but the majority of the time you're going to have your results the next day. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And then for full panels, we were kind of in the 5 to 6 week turnaround for those. Now it's going to be closer to 3 week. Might be a little over that, but for the next little bit, it'll be close to a 3 week turnaround. And as we get into the summer and we have more coming through, we'll be able to do those like we've talked about in the past. The panels we batch them. And so the more we have coming through, the faster those will get turned around. So in the summer, that might get dropped down even faster than a 3-week turnaround. We might be able to get them closer to a 1.5 to 2-week turnaround but for now, it's about a 3-week turnaround for panels. And then sex determination should be about a 5 business day turnaround. So that was also taken 2 or 3, sometimes 2 or 3 weeks, sometimes a month. But now it's pretty consistent with sex determination for ball pythons or for colubrids that we have about a 5-day turnaround.
That'll be perfect with baby season coming up. So
Yep.
awesome.
Yes, and
Glad to
I
hear
am
it.
still working on getting the ball python. So for those of you that do ball python sex determination testing,
Mhm.
I'm still hoping to have that. That one will probably be a little bit into May, but I might have that as a fast test. And in that case, ball python sex determination, in most cases you're going to get it the next day. Whatever we receive it, the next day you'll have your results. So sometime in May that will likely be the case.
Awesome. And so for those last like 3 or so fast tests that we still have to get out, so we have OD, Russo, Enchi, and something something Monsoon. Where's that coming from?
Yes, monsoon is coming very, very, very soon.
Woo!
So
Okay.
Orange Dream, Russo, and Enchi. So if you are ordering any tests at all right now, like this week, if you order and send your shed in, Orange Dream, Russo, and Enchi may not get run this week because right now they would have to go along with the panels, but more than likely I'll have them working before I'll run the next panel run anyway. So Orange Dream, Enchi, and Russo right now are our only ones that we don't have available as a fast test. But like I
Getting
said, in
close.
the next couple weeks we should have them.
Sounds good. So for let's see, we had we're reducing our prices for them as well,
Yes.
which is super awesome with baby season coming in. I already see people posting pictures of their girls on a big old clutch of eggs. So this
Oh
is
yeah.
coming in a great time. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So some of the tests that we've had available for a while, or like in the case of Hurricane, Trick, and Blitz, where we didn't have to pay the development costs for that. That was something that we traded for with Jurgen and at Pro Herper. He's in
Hmm.
Europe. So yeah, so we were able to make some of these be available at $50 if you're just getting a single test. On MorphMarket right now, these 4 tests are $50, and Clutch, I believe, will be making that price change fairly soon as well.
That's great.
So for a single morph test, you get that price break. But even better than that, we've got some other cool stuff for you.
All right. And let's see. So we had a poll recently where, we were talking about working on the custom pick 5, pick 10, where everybody was, we put out a poll on YouTube and everybody said, hey, I want to get, we'd like to have custom selections here, in
Yeah.
addition to the genomic registry, which we're working on. But I didn't think that you would get this out so fast.
Yes. So because we had, the majority of votes were for a pick 5, pick 10. So essentially a way for you to be able to have a small panel that you get to custom pick what's going to get run. So we are working on that through Clutch and MorphMarket. They're working on ways to make that pick 5 and or pick 10 available. But in the meantime, since we don't have that yet, Sean and I talked about what we could make available right away. And so what we want to do, starting today, so if
Woo!
you do an order and you add a second test, so if you want to do like pied and clown on an animal, you pay for 2. We're going to go ahead and run that as a pick 4, but you have to write on the bag or on a piece of paper or a card that you put in the bag with the shed in all caps, say pick 4, and then write the 4 that you want tested. So you're paying for 2, but we're going to run all 4 for you as long as you put pick 4 on there. So that essentially means that you're paying if you get one of the cheaper tests, so clown, pied, trick, blitz, hurricane, or hypo.
Mhm.
If that's one of the ones, if you pay for that first and add a second gene, right now on MorphMarket, that's going to be $75. So for $75, you'd be able to pick 4. So you get custom as long as one of the four is either hypo, pied, clown, or hurricane. And if it's not, if all four are ones we don't have that reduced price yet, then you're paying $90 and you get 4 tests that you choose. And so if in that case, you're getting them for like $22 and some cents. And if you pick either pied, clown, hurricane, or hypo, you're getting them for like $18 and some cents. So it's a very, very cheap way. Very cool, exciting that we can make that available, and hopefully we can keep it available, or we'll switch it to. I think probably the pick 5 is going to be right around $100. So it's kind of a similar price range, but on top of that, since you're paying for 2 tests when you do a pick 5 or pick 4 right now, so you're paying for one, adding a second, so you're paying for 2 tests. Through MorphMarket, if you do 5 of those where you're doing 5 pick 4s, you're going to get 10% off. So you get another 10% off of that. So that makes them, so they're like $17 and some cents.
That's awesome.
Choose whichever 4 you want. So, and then for the other, where if all 4 were ones that are the $65 each, it's still, right about $20 a shed. So, or a test.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes it, so you get really, really good deal. And then on top of that, if you are planning to produce several clutches where you want to have the pick 4 option, even if you're going to use them in July or August or whatever, you can go ahead and pay for them now, and we will still honor that as a pick 4. You'll have to write, like whether you do it now or in July or whatever, make sure you write pick 4 on the bag or on the card in the bag and the 4 you want run. But you can go ahead, if you're going to get 25 or more pick 4, send an email to raregeninc@gmail.com. And I guess we don't have that on there, but yeah, so raregeninc@gmail.com. And that goes to Sean, and Sean will give you a quote. So you'll get a even better than that 10% discount. You'll get a deeper discount. So there we go.
There we go. Put it up on the banner. Yeah.
So yeah.
And just to clarify, if you do the pick 4, that means you're still going to get that next day turnaround, right?
So for Orange Stream, Russo, and Enchi, right now, you wouldn't get that one, that next day turnaround. But yeah, within the next 2 weeks, those will be available. But the other 27, so yeah, all of those, you do that pick 4, we get the sheds here, and once they're received, in most cases, the next day you'll have your results.
That rocks.
Yes.
So we're trying to do the best we can for all of our breeders this summer when baby season really pops off. So this is our kind of our love letter to you guys as fellow breeders. So
yeah.
So
yeah, jump on it while you can, especially if you're gonna do several of them. Get them ordered now, and especially if you like the pick 4 better than the pick 5. Because the pick 4 might go away once pick 5 is available. So
yeah. All right. And now we do have a shed donor shout out this week. And this was somebody who, we've been saying, you can email us and send us the pictures you like that you want us to shout out, for our people who have sent in a bunch of different sheds. And, you're like, hey, shout me out. This person did that. And those are our friends, Mary and Grant. Yes. Of Rec Room Reptiles.
The Hubbard. Yes.
Yeah, there we go. So that's our shed donor shout out this week. Their logo is precious. I love the little pinup style with the ball python. They've got some really cool stuff, and they submitted so many paint/sentinel sheds to us. I think I even did a social media post about it, like a video of just like a table with a full spread of all kinds of sheds just all over it. That is part of the messy process of our research runs, but it was awesome. And I assume these are some of the animals they came from.
Yes. Yeah. I would imagine at least that top one, if not both of them. I bet both of them have paint in them.
Yeah.
Those
so
are
pretty.
Awesome animals.
Sadly, we didn't get the genetics that these guys came with, but they look really cool. The pixelation on that bottom one are just unreal. I love it.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's all I was saying. You go ahead.
Yeah, so I've been on the East Coast for about 13 years now, and going to local shows. I've seen the Hubbards at many of them, especially the Charlotte. When I go to the Charlotte show, they always have really, really cool animals. I've years and years of experience, very, very experienced, and they know lots of the other breeders that have been in the ball python breeding game for a long time. So very cool to talk to, and very excited and passionate about the breeding. And so I definitely give, big thumbs up to Rec Room Snakes, to the Hubbards. And definitely, I know that they go to local shows here on the East Coast at least. They may go to some of the larger shows as well, but they for sure have a MorphMarket, so you can go to their MorphMarket and look at the animals they have, especially if you're interested in paint or sentinel. They've got some cool stuff, so check them out, support them, and once again, thank you so much for donating so many sheds, especially when we asked for paint. I think paint and acid were the two, and we brought those up on shows, say, hey, send us more. All of a sudden there's 3 or 4 people or more for both just sending in piles. So we've got
Yeah.
lots of paint sheds, lots of acid sheds, and that's awesome when you all jump in and do that. And we have a lot of that data that's getting analyzed right now, and we'll have new tests coming out real quick. So those will be the big announcements we'll get to do over the next couple of months. All of the new tests that will come from all of you sending in sheds. So thanks again, Hubbards, Rec Room Snakes, and the rest of you that have sent them in. And like Kayla mentioned, if you want to have us do a shout out for you, then please do send an email to raregeneticsocial@gmail.com and let us know what it is that you'd like us to include in the shout out. We'll happily do it. We are very, very thankful to all of you that have sent in sheds. Like we've said many times before, we literally 100% cannot do this without you all helping us. So thank you.
Yep. Actually, I just thought of something random while we're at it. When you're doing this research run, are there any sheds, or are there any traits right now that you're thinking, I could use a few more of these? Are there any that you want to see people sending in right now that you can think of off the top of your head?
Definitely white lace. So the homozygous version of lace.
Yeah.
Anyone
Okay.
that has those, I have some, but I would definitely like to have more.
Sure.
So if you're completely confident that it's a homozygous version of lace, that white lace, that would be really good.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are others. We'll have to mention them on future shows, but and I'll know over the next week or two which ones are, it looks very clear like I have what I need, and then which other ones are like shaky. So
Okay.
I guess Barnhart Black Pastel would be another one, especially anyone that has a homozygous version of a Barnhart Black Pastel. I do have some from Tom, but yeah, if you have the homozygous version of the Barnhart Black Pastel, that would be another one that I could for sure use a few more of.
Sounds good. Thank you, Ben. I'm glad I thought about that. We'll have to, and that'll be good to know after our next research run. But yeah, if you know people who work with lace, especially white lace, Barnhart Black Pastel, let them know. Send them this video. Tell them to check it out. Here, this whatever this timestamp. Oh,
I do know another one, and
yeah,
there have been some posts asking people from other people. They're starting to spread the word. Is tri-stripe.
tri-stripe.
So
Okay,
any of you
yeah,
that have visual tri-stripes, that's another one people are starting to send in, just like with paint and with acid. Tri-stripe is starting to snowball where we're getting several sheds. So
I
that
like
would be
it.
great. Get some more in from that. And I think we actually had an email as well, right? Did we want to share that?
Oh yeah, we forgot to put this on our thing, but yeah, let me pull that up.
Yeah, and so we got an email. Maybe we'll end on this.
Yeah.
Really appreciate some kind words and then some questions.
Yeah, it's this is from Patrick Cusack. He said, Ben, first I wanted to say thank you for all of your hard work you guys have been putting in on the fast testing rollout. It seems very evident that while your work is ultimately to help grow RGI, the passion for what y'all do is very evident. Watching the exponential progress over the past few months has been inspiring. Recently, life has given me an opportunity to go back to school. I'm looking into biology with emphasis on herpetology and genetics, and wondered if you had any suggestions for me. Thank you, Patrick M. Cusack. What you
Right
say,
on.
Ben?
Yeah, that's a fun opportunity in life for sure.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed those times a lot as a undergrad. Well, even as a high school student, I ended up reaching out to the local university and going in and volunteering, helping out in a herpetology lab. And then, but yeah, as a undergrad and a grad student, those were fun times. So yeah, I would say if you're going to school and have the opportunity to do some work in genetics or in, specifically in herpetology, that's even better if you're a reptile person. But either way, one of the best things I think helped me by far the most was find a professor that's doing something that you're interested in. So obviously, whoever's doing the work that you're the most interested in, if you can talk to that person. For me, I got to talk to Joe Mendelson, and he was working on lizard and snake genetic stuff, having to do with where they are, why they're doing what they're doing, and so that was really high on my list of interests. And so if wherever you're at, maybe the closest thing they have is someone that does something with genetics on a different species, maybe not necessarily reptiles, but whatever it is, if you can find something as close as possible to what your interests are, just set up an appointment or even just drop by the office of that professor. And it's kind of, for me, it was scary at first. But just know, like, they're there because they are really love what they're doing. They're doing research that's because it's something they really want to do. They're really interested in, they really like to talk about, and they love to see other people interested in it too. So just either set up an appointment or just pop by the office and just say, introduce yourself and say, hey, I'm really interested in the research you're doing. If you can read, on their, at least on their website or wherever they talk a little bit about their research and know some specifics, and maybe even read a paper or two from them so you understand what kinds of things they're doing in their lab. But yeah, just say, hey, you stood out as someone that is doing research I'm really interested in. I'd love to volunteer. I'd love to, even if it's just taking out the trash, cleaning dishes, be able to be there in the lab when people are in, students are in there doing research. And if you can get your foot in the door that way, that really makes a massive difference. That gives you a lot of opportunities because you meet, first of all, you learn more about that, and maybe you learn it's not what you want to do. But if it is what you want to do, you'll get to see kind of behind the curtain what goes on, and maybe learn what parts of it you're the most interested and excited about. But they'll also be able to help you choose the classes that will be the best for you. And what Dr. Mendelson really helped me with was opportunities, research opportunities to be able to go in the field. And he gave me a whole bunch of samples, or actually from some toads that I got to do the DNA PCR and sequencing and stuff like that back in 2002, so over 20 years ago. But that was all possible only because I had this kind of a mentor. So that's the best thing you can do if you want to go down this route and you're in college, or even if you're in high school and you're planning to go to college. Find you a professor that's doing research you're interested in. Like I said, even if it's taking out the trash and doing dishes, just do that for a while, and that's a really good way to learn if that's what you want to do and get some really good connections.
Good advice. And yeah, seconding that, in my experience, the type of people that are doing this are um, usually they love to just geek out with other people who are interested in what they're doing. So
For
yeah,
sure.
no, that can actually, that's kind of how I met Ben. I got my rat snake sex determination tested back in like 2021, and I was like, hey, let me ask you this question about like some are you able to test for like T positive, albinism in a rat snake? And we got to geeking out about that. I realized he was in Christiansburg. We were just friends, and a few other things happened. Now we're here. So,
Yep.
um, yeah, good advice. find your fellow nerds,
Yes.
basically.
Thank you, Patrick, and
Yeah.
good luck. And you'll have to let us know. Shoot me another email if you end up finding a lab to work in. And any
Hmm.
of the rest of you, if you have questions, feel free to send them in either Instagram or Facebook messaging, or send an email to me, Kayla, or Sean. And
Yeah,
we're happy to help out where we can.
definitely. All right, I think we'll call that a wrap. Once again, thanks again to Rec Room Snakes. They're our shed donor shout out this week. And make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share this video, even if it's like to your one Twitter page that has one follower, because that means, that tells the YouTube algorithm that our video is cool. So
That's right.
thanks so much. And yeah, got anything else, Ben?
No, thanks again. And like I said, more exciting stuff coming.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week. Outro in 3, 2, 1.